How you doing?
I'm good, you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Good, mate. Listen, thank you so much for coming on to do our very, very first monthly interview with professional dancers. We're calling it Names You Know and Names You Should. So you're our first one, Ebony Clarke. And for those who don't know, we've known Ebony since you were, was it 2009? 2010?
No, it would have been, I would have been year 8, year 9, so maybe like 2006, 2007?
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, I remember Ebony walking in her football shorts. I hope you don't mind me telling everybody.
Every time.
And she come along, and obviously there's this new youngster with talent that was quite exciting. And we've known you obviously the whole way through. You trained with us till you were 16?
Yeah, and then whilst I was at Harlow College, I did still days I could.
Yeah.
And then, but full time from,
Yeah, and then you went on to college. Do you want to just explain just your sort of progress through college?
Yeah, so I obviously started dancing with you guys around 11, 12, so that's the first touch of dance I've ever done. I do remember my mum tried taking me to ballet and tap, and I hated it.
Okay, fair play.
So I didn't go back. And then I took GCSE dance at school, sorry.
Yeah.
Obviously it's doing a different style, so there was more contemporary based in there. Again, not sure if I was feeling it again at that age. And then obviously went on to Harlow College to do a BTEC, National BTEC Extended for musical theatre and dance. And then obviously I had to do ballet as well. So that's where the ballet tights and everything come back on. And I didn't cry.
Well done.
And then went off, after doing that for 2 years, went off to the Centre Performing Arts College in Kent, and did that for 3 years, and then graduated in 2015.
Nice. So do you think from the beginning of your training, you knew what it was that you wanted to do? You're saying that you wasn't so keen on other styles.
Yeah, I think it was because obviously football, I'd done football since I was probably like 5, I think. And then obviously then I started dance from an older age. So I was like, I do like the both of them. So they were like my main 2 sports. And then, I don't know, because I did, then my GCSEs, I did like double PE. So I did GCSE PE and BTEC PE, and then I chose dance as well. So, and then from there, because I also put down randomly, because I didn't know how far you could go in dance and stuff like that. So like when I was leaving to go to college and put my stuff down, what course I wanted to do, I put barbering down, like, so I wasn't even going to do anything like that. And then my head of year was like, Ebony, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then obviously said there's a performing arts course. So yeah.
Nice. Perfect. Yeah. So I'm totally with you with the classical styles. I completely appreciate them and how great they are in terms of foundations. But obviously, if you know where you want to go, that seems like where you was. Is that right?
Yeah, because obviously that's street and hip hop is what all I'd known, especially obviously from you as well. And that's the most style that I enjoyed the most. But then obviously if you do want to go on professionally, you do have to train, and you have to have that base and that structure and foundations, like in everything though, like in all styles, you always have that foundation. Exactly. So then it was more of an understanding of why I was doing it.
Yeah.
So that was the biggest thing.
Because obviously dancing, if you agree, is about expressing yourself and having fun, enjoying it. Because if you're not there and enjoy it, why are you there? You know?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I totally hear you on that, and hopefully the students listening will understand what you're saying, that obviously your classical styles are really important, but know what direction as well you want to focus on.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Your dedication to it as well, to want to be the best you can be when there's a style that you're not particularly into, but you threw yourself into it and you went forward with it. So that's good.
Absolutely. Like I remember in ballet, it was probably the most frustrating style for me, because I was so, obviously when I went to college, people have been doing it since they were 3 and stuff like that. So it was pros and cons, because obviously the teachers are happy because they could just mold me because I hadn't done any of it. So they were probably happy with it. Whereas some people that have been doing it since 3, they could have bad, not bad technique, what's the word? Habits, that's the one. So it would be harder to train them to turn it back round to what it's supposed to be. So it was pros and cons to that. So yeah, it was good though.
And what about, sorry, before Vic moves on to the next question, what about how you found being now a professional dancer in lockdown? How has that changed your schedule?
So in a way, like the first lockdown, obviously I was at the theatre. I was supposed to be going on holiday, but then so it was March 16th, and then obviously we got told with COVID, obviously it was closing. But I think no one expected it to be this long. I mean, well, here we are again. But do you know what I mean? But it weren't expected to be this long thing. I don't think anyone knew how serious or how long it was going to be happening. So we thought maybe like 2 months, 2 months, and then we'd be back. And then cut to 8 months on now. Obviously we're not back still, but I've been lucky enough to be workshopping a new film that's coming out. So that's lucky, and obviously was teaching, stuff like that. But again, with Zoom, I'm not the biggest fan of it. Obviously, I understand people got to do what you do, but only because for me at my house, it's just not the best. I'd rather be in a studio.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's been, in a weird way, it's pros and cons, because it's been nice to have some time off. Well, obviously now it's kind of like, I don't want any more time off.
Sure. Yeah. And for those students that perhaps a little bit newer to the pro dancing, could you explain to them what you mean by workshopping a new film?
So it's basically we're trialing out choreo and ideas for the choreographer and the director. So then when they've got their cast of the film, they already know what to do. So they're already they're prepping it. They're prepping the film for the actual real cast members.
Yeah,
cool.
Of the film. To be part of the creative side.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. It mixes it up.
Yeah.
Because I was able to have my say on a couple of bits, and then it just all works together. So there was, I think it was like 16 of us as well. So it was nice.
Oh, lovely.
They were all different styles as well. So some of them would be hip hop and street, or some of them just be a bit more jazzy and musical theatre. So yeah, it's like adaptation as well.
Nice. Great stuff.
So, Ebony, can you sum up what you're doing right now and what your plan is for the future?
Yeah. So at the minute, I'm kind of doing, still workshopping some of that film. So on and off dates now, not as much obviously because of lockdown. Yeah. And then also, because I mean, everybody's talking about Jamie at the minute, obviously pre-COVID, but we're supposed to be coming back December. So we kind of, whilst in the second lockdown though, they're doing like a web series kind of thing. So recording that at the minute. So that's got like a lot of West End stars, not even just from Jamie, but so they've mixed it up. So it's like I think it's like a 3 episodes series. So there's like a Jamie part, then it's like a Christmas part, and then there's another part. So we're filming that at the minute. And then future, well, hopefully I can finish this contract for what the length it was supposed to potentially be.
Yeah.
And then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Especially how the world's going. Who knows?
Who knows? And for those who don't, you was dance captain for that show and for Thriller, is that right?
Yeah, so dance captain now, and swing, and also for the live dance captain and swing.
So what does being a dance captain entail?
A lot. A lot. It depends. You know what? It depends on the show as well, because it's so different with Thriller, because it was only really, because Thriller's like a concert, there's no dialogue, script or anything like that. Obviously there's lyrics, but that would be for the singers, so that wouldn't most of the time be part of my job. That would be the resident directors to sort them out. So I'd just be reblocking numbers in Thriller, whereas with this one, with everybody talking about Jamie, it'll be I have to cut a scene, I have to cut script. It's so much more, but then it's weird because it's kind of like it's the same amount, because there's not as many numbers for the ensemble and like musical numbers in the show compared to Thriller. So it's a weird one, but it's good. I'm enjoying it.
Good.
I'm enjoying it.
That's what it's all about, right?
Yeah.
And going into the West End, was it something you always wanted to do? Or was it something that happened naturally as a progression from where you was before?
Yeah, I think it's from progression, in the sense of, I think when I was at Harlow College, I was like, oh yeah, I'd love to be a commercial dancer, to do like music videos and tour with an artist. But then when I got to college, we did sorry, I can't talk anymore apparently, brain switching off. We had musical theatre and dance, And my head of musical theatre, who was like, why cut yourself short when you can sing, so you might as well just do it all. And then from there I just kind of was like, okay, I want to do that then. So then just focused on getting my voice strong enough as well I always said I wanted it to be strong enough to get into an ensemble in a musical. I just felt like that should be a basis for anyone who wanted to do it.
Yeah, fair play.
Yeah, that's great.
Skill wise, and then go from there. But yeah.
You learned at college, or did you because obviously you did just dancing, so how did you know you could sing? So did you
yeah so basically, because I went to where obviously Harley went, and I'd heard from her previously about the centre, so I was like, oh yeah, commercial college, lovely, great. They did all the styles that I would want to do. And then when I first started, they would do I think it was one musical theatre singing lesson, and then a group harmony lesson when I first started. But in our first class we had to sing solo.
Oh wow.
They just threw you into it, and then from there it was just like, why would you just want to just be dancing when you could open it up a bit more?
That's so cool.
There's a lot of chat in the business world as well, and it's kind of rolls over into the performing arts world of skill stacking. You don't have to be necessarily the best at one thing, as long as your skill stack is high, as much as you can.
And it's a weird one, because obviously at colleges sometimes, I mean, I was lucky for where I went to in the years I were there, that we had to do everything. But I know there's people that just go down the dance course, or it might just be they're doing a contemporary course or something like that. So it was nice for me to, especially because I'm still learning about myself, so I feel like it's a really good in first year to definitely keep doing everything, and then you can go off. If it's not for you, then you know it's not for you, and then you can just develop skills over those last 2 years of what you want to do.
Exactly. And you've tried it and you know where you are. Brilliant.
Yeah.
And we didn't, the amount of years we've known you, we didn't know that you could sing either.
Until we saw you in that show.
Until we saw you in that show, and we was like,
no, but that's the one I cracked in though. That was Ren, wasn't it?
Ren also
show.
You did as well.
How funny.
Honestly, where has this come from? So good.
Yeah, it's great, mate.
Right, whose question's
It's
next?
your question.
Oh, it's my question. Right. Jen keeps going off course, because the questions Jen's got, they're nothing like what she's saying.
I'm listening to Ebony and asking her questions on it.
Right. Okay, Ebony, my question number 2 for you is, what is your favourite part of performing in the West End? What keeps you driven to perform so many shows a week when you are, obviously at the moment you're not able to, but when you're in a show, there's so many shows in a week. What keeps you going?
Well, I have usually a lot of energy anyway, so when I was at college, if I sat down in the changing room, that would be me shut off. So I had to stay standing up, but I did that anyway. I don't know, it's especially with something like hip hop, I think, because I loved the show so much, I feel like that's already a given. Not saying I didn't love the other shows so much, but I think with Thriller, that was a hard show because we had double show weekends. And it was a killer. There was so many injuries throughout the whole of the cast as well, so it's just, you have to eat correctly, and I mean, I eat a lot anyway, so that part was fine, but you have to eat correctly. I mean, I'm trying to think why. Actually, I just ate loads.
You are
I just ate.
You are full of beans all the time.
You're always full of beans. You're always.
I just think I'm always having a laugh as well, so it doesn't feel like it's a job. Do you know what I mean? It's nice, and especially if you've got nice cast members, that's the good thing about theatre, is it doesn't feel like a job, but obviously it is. But it's just fun. And like I said, with something like hip hop, I loved that story so much as well. And I've never done a hip hop theatre show, so that was off the bucket list. It was a tick, so it's nice.
Oh, amazing. What is your, if you could just say one thing, what would be your favourite thing about performing in the West End?
If the audience is great, I remember there was one Saturday in Thriller, and it was like we was in an arena, and we're only in a small 900-seater theatre, and everyone was just so hype like just ready for our entrance because we could already hear the audience. So we was like, what is going on? Like, is there a celeb? And then we all come out, and then for the whole show they were just screaming. So I feel like when the audience gives you something, that even pushes you even more. So yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I just love performing. I just really spat as well. I just love performing. I did it again. Yeah.
It's the
honestly. What was that?
It's the effects you've got, just effect like rain.
Yeah.
I often say, absolutely, a reaction from an audience can make or break a show for you, can't it?
Absolutely.
You put so much hard work in, and if that audience is cheering for you, like the feeling just makes everything worth it. That it like every feeling, you're like, oh my god, this is the best moment in my life.
Yeah, it's so good. It is so good. And even with because obviously there's some, like on a Sunday matinee, I feel like some people might not want to be there and they just want their roast and they're just chilling. But we go out there treating it like it was that screaming audience, you know what I mean? So but yeah, and also people appreciate things differently. So maybe they will be clapping still. So each to their own. But when they're screaming, it's better.
That's right. That's what I've learned across the way as well. Like some audiences won't clap, or they'll just be really quiet. But then if you meet them afterwards, they'll say, I love the show. And I'm like, you clap.
They all just appreciate it in a different way.
So you do have to do every show like the audience are loving it, like give it your all, because if you're not clapping, it doesn't mean they're not enjoying it, just means they're appreciating it a different way.
Absolutely.
One of them when I watch the show.
Yes, she is.
I've got the but I love it.
Oh, no. Holding up my banner, go Ebony.
Oh gosh.
Right, so if we wrap up this West End section then with if any of our listeners want to have a career in the West End, whether that be dance or singing, whatever it is, what are your top 5 tips?
Listen to your teachers, even though I know there'll be stages where you're like, oh, whatever, but honestly then you'll be like, oh, that's why they said it. It's one of them. Listen, stamina, get fit, keep fit. What else? Just be open. I feel like that's maybe the main thing. Be open to everything, all styles. You can always take something, like I said, from either ballet or contemporary classes. Even if I weren't enjoying them half as much, there's always something I took from it.
Yeah.
How many was that? How many have I given you? What else? Enjoy it.
Yes.
Also have fun. Don't beat yourselves up. Like, especially like we're not doing heart surgery, like, and that's what I will say with being a swing as well, because there's been times when I'll be thrown on and I might not necessarily have looked at that track, or it's been a while since I've done that track. So if I've gone to a wrong position, like, I'm a perfectionist anyway, so I'll be like, oh, why did I do that? But also you just have to let it go, like, and you correct yourself, take corrections, listen to corrections. God, they're all coming out now.
Yeah, love it. Great advice.
Could you just explain what a swing is to people that...
Yeah, so a swing is like kind of like an understudy, but for multiple roles. So I cover in Jamie, I cover 5 roles, so 5 tracks. So I cover 4 year 11s, and then I cover 1 lead as well. So it's just
you've got to remember all of those roles,
all of what they do. So again, what's different with Jamie and Thriller is we had less props in Thriller, whereas with Jamie we have desks, we have bags, we have folders, we have pencil cases. There's a lot.
Wow.
So usually if I come off of a scene and I know I've got to have a prop, the next one I grab it straight away. We even need mobile phones, like, so yeah, I just sit with them. Everyone laughs at me, but I'm like, I'm not forgetting this bag. So yeah. Literally, they laugh at me and I'm like, they're like, why have you got it so early? I'm like, why have you not got yours?
Best to be.
Yeah, exactly, always.
Speaking about that, so if you could think of one, what would be your funniest memory of something that you did forget, or that you did do something by accident?
There's so many. In Jamie, I mean, no one lets me forget this one. So it was during a scene, and basically I was opposites with, there's Bex and Becca, these 2 year 11s, and they're kind of like opposites, so they answer and finish off each other's sentences. Bearing in mind I cover both of them as well, so it was very like, oh, what is she saying? Oh, blah, blah, blah. I'm very answer and back and through. And I think the last one, they were talking about their prom dress, and the last I was supposed to say, something sequins and ruffles. Can't remember the other one, it's been a while, but I went trembling over my words. I went something and squeakins. and then there's like 3 people on stage, like, this is my line, I'm going, so I said squeakins, and I went, said it again, I went, to stay in the rhythm of what I'd usually say the line, I went squeakins and squeakins and squeakins. It was awful, honestly. It was the worst thing I think I've ever done on stage.
It's a better name, squeakins.
But you,
squeakins. Yeah, squeakins and squeakins and squeakins.
You rolled with it, and that's what's the main thing, honestly.
I come off stage and everyone is in tears side stage, like all of stage management, like literally they were like crying. I was like, get me off this stage, like as soon as I've done my line. It was the worst thing.
All stage.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
Okay. So West End work aside now.
Yeah. Could
you tell everyone the other sort of jobs you've done? Any commercial work, adverts, anything else you've done?
Yeah. So I think my first one out of college was I did it was a musical workshop, but it was like a commercial one. So we did that for a week. Again, that was trying out a musical.
Yeah.
Then I did a House of Fraser advert, Christmas advert.
Remember that?
I did that for 2 years, so they just recast me for the next year. I did a gift gaff mobile phone TV advert where I had to fly, and that was the most painfulest experience in a harness and just being held up. Oh, it was so painful, but it was fun, and now it's on the CV. Another skill. She can fly in pain. What else? Did the Brit Awards. I did a Morrison's advert. So it's more adverts. So when I'm not in a musical theatre contract, I'll be probably doing more TV adverts.
Yeah. So obviously when you're in a musical theatre contract, you're tied into just that.
Yes, pretty much. Unless you can, if it's like during the day, if it's not clashing hours, and obviously you ask if you can do it or you can book off holiday for it, then it can work. But most of the time, you could be too tired because you're in the theatre like 6 days a week, and there's double shows and everything. So yeah, it depends if you want to carry on and not too tired.
Yeah. So the advert side of it, because I know you have a musical theatre agent.
Yes.
You're allowed to have 2 agents, is that right?
So one musical theatre agent, and then you can have as many commercial. Well, this is what I've heard. I don't know if it's changing now, but when I could have as many commercial agents, I think I've got quite a few. So more than one.
Yeah.
Because then you're there. What do? They're kind of musical theatre. They're just like, you're mine.
Yeah.
You're mine. And then the other ones that give you a bit more of a leeway.
Okay.
Yeah. Because they have so many more people on their books.
Right. Yes. Okay. So for everyone else that sort of wants to get into that that path, or either way, musical theatre or commercial, you have to go to college. To get on these people's lists, what do you have to do?
Yeah. You don't necessarily need to go to college, but you do need to definitely have training in your style. But and I think there's also having that because potentially it could be you go into a agency audition, so you need to have like that audition etiquette, but I guess you can learn that as well going to more auditions, so you don't necessarily need that at college. But yeah, it could be via going to an audition. I emailed to some of my ones, and some of them would be like, can you send me a CV and headshot, or have you got a show reel? Or you are able to invite them to say if you're in a show at a point, and you write to them, then they can come and see you as well, and they can take you on.
Amazing.
Gotcha.
Okay,
good
cool.
tips. So the jobs that you mentioned, the main ones you've done, outside of the West End, which one is your favourite and why?
I love the first House of Fraser Christmas advert. I think because that was like my first big job, because I hadn't started Thriller then either. So it was working with TV and obviously cameras and stuff like that. And also we worked with the choreographer Parris Goebel. So
nice.
I mean, it was insane. It was so good, and like the atmosphere, and it was learning with, because obviously I was fresh out, and then you had other people with more experience and been working in the industry for so long. So it was nice. It was really good. It was, you take in so much.
Yeah. I remember we were sitting in the cinema and we saw you on the big screen. It
Yeah.
felt like proud aunties.
Yeah, I remember you saying. I didn't even know it was in cinemas till you sent it to me. I was like, what?
I know. Because you're not allowed to film in the cinemas, are you?
But who did?
Do you know what happened? This is me. I got my phone out to be like, yeah, but this is like the one time we're going to see. Be the one time we're going to see Ebony in the theatre. So I tried to take a quick picture or a video, but I took a picture and then I tried to do a video and then I felt so guilty about it I had to leave it.
She's so by the book.
I was just like, no, I can't, it's illegal.
Well done.
It's a review on there, that's all.
You're cute.
Oh dear.
Right,
Right,
your turn. Come on, be prepared, Vic. Be prepared.
Oh, cut it anyway. Okay, Ebony, you run Elite Performers Academy.
Yes.
Other professionals. Can you tell everyone what Elite is about and who it's for?
Yeah, so basically, two of my other best friends that I went to college with, so we trained together. We was thinking, what could we do? Because we wanted to do something together, and we was like, do we want to do a dance school? But we was kind of like mixed, especially with ages and stuff as well, with what we want to work with. So we had the idea to do a foundation college/course. So that is for the near future, hopefully, or just in the future. So we want to do, so from ages 16 to 18, so we want to prep them before they go off to potential other bigger colleges and study there. But at the moment, we've kind of just been trying to get our names out there and stuff like that. So we're holding workshops. So obviously myself, Amy Worth and Patrick Rosinia. And then we get in guest teachers as well that I've worked professionally and I've done bits and bobs too. So they're going well. They're growing, so it's nice. The last one we did was the first time we added acting and singing into the day, and it was good because then you got to see what. So obviously I've seen quite a few of them dance in different styles, so I know their weaknesses and their strengths there. But it was nice to be like, oh, she can sing, or do you know what I mean? Or he's a really good actor. So it was nice to mix it up.
So at the moment, it's workshops that people can come and take part in.
Yeah, so we're kind of aiming to do it termly. Yeah. But obviously now, so we did our last one November 1st. Mm-hmm. So it was nice to end before, to go out with a bang before lockdown again. But our next one won't be probably till 2021 now.
Gotcha. Yeah. Cool. So you went to Harlow College before going to the centre.
Yeah.
But anybody who's fresh to it, what are their options if they wanted to do something to give them a little step up before the main college they want to go to?
Yeah.
What are the options, including perhaps what you have on offer?
Yeah, I would say, because for me, going to Harlow College before college was the better option for me, just because maturity. Yeah. And I'm just like growing up. Mm-hmm. I still needed those 2 years because I don't think I would have taken in as much as I did and slash should if I went at an earlier age. Yeah. So I think that's why we're kind of aiming it to be as like a prep. So they still get kind of like but higher college training. It's just a prep stage. It's just like a heads up kind of thing. But obviously it doesn't have to be colleges. You can just go to class. Yeah. Like it's a mixture, or they would be the two that I would say. So either go to a a foundation college or do a pre-voc course, or go to, like I said, and do a BTEC course as well, or train outside. college. They go to classes.
So basically what we're saying is there are so many options.
Yeah, you don't have to go to colleges or anything like that. You can do it yourself. Like,
and we spoke to who you will know, obviously, from Some Like It Hip Hop, Bradley Charles, on when was it, Friday? He come and did a workshop for some of the students.
Yeah, because he didn't go to college.
That's what he was saying. I think people were quite surprised how great he was without the, you know,
just trained. Yeah, just went classes and stuff. Yeah,
it's just training with the right people.
It's the same with you as well. Like, well, me, I suppose as well. But go to college. We didn't go into the mainstream college for performing arts because at that time we needed to go into work. Yeah, we couldn't get into do the college. Basically, we didn't have the funds, so we went to,
it was just
work
and then just training with as many good people as possible. The knowledge. And now it was only, where are we now, 220, it was only 215 that I'd got. I've always had paperwork say I can teach, but you know, say, look, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
case of like Bradley Charles and like you advised, whether you go to college, that's great, you're going to meet some fantastic people, or find the right people outside of
that's literally it.
Skills.
I've always had this wish I'd have gone to college because I'd love to have learnt so much more, like what so I've always had that like little, I wish I'd done it. So, and what I more wish now is I had this, I could get the knowledge from people like you to know that I didn't have to have gone to college. No, could have done all these things without going to college, which back I didn't know. Like, I'm in my 30s now, which is not too late. It's never too late. But back then I'd have loved to have done more things, but I don't think it was actually that available.
No, I think like, this is what you do it or you don't. But
so it's nice that other people can take different routes, you know. It's not everything works for everybody, so to know that they don't, like, it would be great for you to go to college and get as much knowledge as you can, because that is the best route. If you've missed that chance and you've missed that opportunity, there's still a way, you know.
But also college isn't for everyone. Like, there's so many, like in my year, there's so many dropouts because it's just not for them, and they'll go to classes instead. They've still carried on, but just the college environment wasn't for them.
Just training. So,
and obviously you obviously have a great talent, and you got a scholarship.
Luckily.
But it is very, very expensive to go to college.
Very. If I didn't get that scholarship, I wouldn't have been able to go. So then it's like, I don't know what I would have been doing now.
Sure.
Kind of thing.
I personally think that you're driven enough to have done it anyway, regardless. But
maybe it's mad, because then I'm kind of like, would I have gone back to football, or do you know what I mean? It's such a weird one. Would I have just been doing dance as a hobby now, and just, I don't know. It's so weird.
You just don't know where.
I
mean, I was talking about that as well. I do think college is the right way, because I do think it gives you discipline. It teaches you so much. Like, if you can throw yourself into it and do it, then that's great. If it doesn't for you, then there are other options.
Other ways,
I just think if you can throw yourself into a college to learn and absorb as much as you can, that's such a great start.
I agree.
My question was a quick one, really. Just how do you stay fit? How do you keep your body in tune for the shows?
Can I just butt in and say that is my question?
No.
Oh, nice, Jen.
Can I just butt in and that is my...
Sorry about that. Sorry.
Start again.
Okay, yes, Jen.
Well, obviously before the show anyway, you have a warm-up, daily warm-up. You have to warm up before doing the show. And again, I think it's just an eating thing, but I don't know anymore because of COVID, because now I put on the pounds a little bit.
Oh, please.
I've got more weight on my big
Listen to me. When I say it, no one believes me.
I know, it's how you feel. I know.
Yes.
But
again, it's eating. It's just eating correctly and just staying on top of it. I think you just have to maintain it. It's a motivation thing as well. You have to keep going with it. What else? And online classes. Do you know what? During lockdown, I did a couple. Jen, I did some of your online classes as well. So it was nice. It was nice like that. For me personally, teaching on Zoom wasn't, but doing classes was. So, yeah, I think those were probably the main ones. Just you have to just maintain it.
Yeah. I hear you.
God, it is so hot in here. I've got a really sweaty top lip.
Stula.
You can't see it, it's not
Honestly.
shining.
Am I shining? Who do you look up to? Any choreographers or specific companies that you love to work with?
Yeah. So Jen was probably my first inspiration. I'm not joking though. I'm not joking, because I was just like, I want to dance like that. Do you know what? I remember my first hip hop pop class was to Justin Timberlake, My Love.
Cool, Jane, yeah.
And you looked great, obviously, and then I was awful.
I doubt that.
No, honestly, because it was like something like push, and I was literally like, why don't I look like that? So then I would just, every class then I'd just be looking at you like, I want to look like that. Do you know what I mean? So that was, you were number one.
Thank you.
And then I love Justin Timberlake in general as well. I think I remember watching his Like I Love You video, and I loved that as well. Who else? Choreographer wise, I used to love it's spelled Dejan Tubik, but I think you pronounce it Dejan Tubik.
Right.
Whilst I was at Harlow College, I loved him. I don't follow him as much now, but he was, during when I was training, he was someone I looked up to. I loved his musicality.
Yeah.
Who else? I'd say it's a weird one, because I love, obviously, Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Because
I just love his music anyway. There's so many. I love a bit of Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few.
For those who don't know, Ebony's a big Justin Bieber fan as well.
I do love I'd love to tour with Justin Bieber.
You have always said that. Do you still love him as much?
Not as much now. I do. Come see.
Is it because he got...
No. I don't know. Do you know what it was? And it's probably quite sad, actually. So I went to watch his last tour, and he just weren't there. Like he weren't loving it. I'm guessing he was going through some stuff.
Yeah.
But in the end, I was just like, but the dances were amazing. They were so good.
Yeah.
So I mean, I still would love to tour with him.
Yeah. Do you find when you go to watch a concert? I certainly do. I'm there for the artists. I listen to the songs, but I'm not watching them. I'm watching the dancers.
Yeah, like I'll always be watching the dancers.
Yeah.
Who else would I? Yeah, like I'd love to do a Chris Brown tour. Yeah. Justin Timberlake, Justin Bieber, maybe Ariana. I love a bit of Ariana.
Usher would be a good one.
Yeah, Usher would be really good.
We saw him, and his dances were insane.
Or like Bruno Mars as well.
Yes.
I'd love to be a Bruno.
Yeah. Good choice.
We need a man.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have women dancers, does he?
No, that's what I mean. But you never know. Next album, he might.
It's not just his band that dances, is it?
Oh, isn't it? Yeah, it's not just the band. I think he's had Jabberwockies dance for him and stuff like that, hasn't he?
That was the Super Bowl performance, wasn't it? That was it.
Yeah. Yes.
Really good. Next question's mine, Vic.
Oh, sorry.
So yeah,
put it
down.
Honestly.
So just to sort of wrap up this bit, yourself. I think we sort of said about
touched on it
now, but 5 years, 15, 20 years, what's your plan? Do you have one?
I want to still. Do I want to still be dancing? This is the thing, because I went through a stage where I'm going to retire, but then I'm just like I'd miss it too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a love, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if the body's going to hold out, I would still probably like to be performing. There's a couple of like shows I still want to do.
Yeah.
Before I stop, and then I do want to tour with an artist. So I think maybe 2 more musicals, maybe a tour with an artist, and then we'll see.
Then you've done everything, literally.
Hopefully.
That's so cool.
Yeah, we'll try and I want to. Them.
When you sort of stop dancing and you're like 50, do you still want to? You reckon you'll still be involved in the industry? What sort of things could you sort of still do?
I hope so, because I think I would want to be. I did think about maybe wanting to be an agent. Obviously with Elite, hopefully that's up running properly. Like the plans are for it to obviously start as a foundation college, see how well it goes, see how it's like taken off, and then maybe future it could be a full-time college. So yeah, it's like there's things out there to potentially go down. Things down there. So yeah, I'd love to still be in the industry.
Right, so Ebs, we're going to fire at you 10 questions.
Okay.
So make it quick fire, the first answer that comes to your head, right? Are you ready?
Yeah. Yes, I'm ready.
Ready, Eddie?
Right, go Vic.
What's your favourite dance style?
Oh, hip hop.
Who's your favourite artist?
Ariana at the minute. That's a lie. It's so Becky Hill. Sorry.
First answer.
What's been your favourite ever job?
Something like a hip hop.
Oh, good choice. What's your favourite food?
Everything.
Favourite movie?
Oh, Hocus Pocus.
Oh, good choice. Burgers or hot dogs?
Oh, burger.
Save the last
hot dog.
or you got served?
You got served.
Good choice. Choreo or freestyle?
Oh, choreo.
Do you prefer
With a little bit.
Do you prefer to be a teacher or a student?
Student.
Last one. Beanie or bucket hat?
Oh, bucket.
Yay!
One more. Jen or sink?
Oh, everyone.
Oh, that was cruel. How could you do that?
Well, it just would be
You
fun.
meanie.
Go on, but who is it? I'm kidding. I didn't
I love you both.
We know it's me. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. We're at a dinner party. Me, you, Jen.
Yeah.
You can invite 3 other guests that are either alive or no longer with us. What 3 people would you have join us and why?
Justin Timberlake, I'm going to go for.
I was like, people are
Oh, yeah, Justin. No, yeah, Timberlake, I think, because he looks like a laugh.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what? I know what my next one is now, just because okay. Yeah, so Justin Timberlake just looks like a laugh, and I feel like he just knows so much as well.
Okay.
So for his knowledge and just for a laugh. Then to be controversial, no, maybe I can't say this. I'll bring Britney just to see what happens.
Yes!
Yes to the Britney.
Yes to
I would
the
love to have Britney
Britney.
round for dinner.
She looks like she's having a laugh as well sometimes as well. She'd be, as in, she'd be a laugh.
Yeah.
Who else? Ooh, Gordon Ramsay. That's really random because I feel like he's just really. Do you watch Hell's Kitchen?
Yeah.
He's just so funny on it.
Yeah.
He is good.
And what a mixture as well.
Yeah, that is.
Performers and a chef.
Yeah. As long as he doesn't interrupt my carbonarage. My signature dish.
It is.
Yeah, don't
Oh.
Gordon.
I need to have this signature dish.
Yeah, why have I not cooked you this? This needs to happen.
Next time.
We're actually having it tonight, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. That's good choices, mate. Good choices. Right, final thing.
Yeah.
Just about to wrap up our interview. And what final tip that you haven't said already can you leave young students aspiring to be a professional dancer?
Ooh. Just keep going. Keep going, have fun with it. I think all you can do is enjoy it.
Yeah.
You have to.
Perseverance and keep pushing.
Yeah. You have to, perseverance, have fun. Because, otherwise, why are we doing it?
Exactly. Like I say to a lot of students in class, you know, they do some moves that we build up to, we layer it up so that they understand it. But some don't always get it the first time, and that's fun. You know, and we explain that, we show that. But I think this mentality, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just our current world, the way it is. Fast. So if you don't get it fast, I'll leave that then. I can't do that. And that is the mentality, I think. Yeah. Make sure it's pushed aside and it's persevere till you get it. Yeah. And what you said, that kind of links with that. So that's really nice.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah. What else you got planned today, Ebs?
It's going home today.
So you're in London right now?
Yeah. In the minute because of filming, but not needed today. So it's all good. It's been nice to be in a hotel.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Change of moment. Yeah.
What's that? Sorry?
Change of scenery at the moment.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I actually do have one question to add in to earlier on. When it comes to auditions and things, obviously there's going to be times where you have to deal with rejection and not getting a job that you really want. I mean, even so much more now, there is so many performers in the industry. Like, it is so hard out there. So what do you do and tell yourself if you get if you go for an audition that you don't get, or you know, to keep going and to go and not give up?
Yeah, I think if you get cut, it's not meant to be. Yeah, that wasn't meant to be at that time. So, and then it means like something else. The next audition might be yours. Do you know what I mean? That job could be yours. And again, I think with auditions, I think it's kind of the same thing with like when you tell people to freestyle as well. Because soon as a teacher may say freestyle, everyone's like, oh no, and then they start to they're like, oh. Whereas I think of the freestyle as like a lifeline, because if I've mucked up the choreo, I'll rely on my freestyle to at least get me through another round, or for them to actually see, oh, she may have messed up that, but she can do that, so maybe she can. Do you know what I mean? I think it helps so much. And you just got, again, it's just having fun and enjoying it, because if you're already stressing about something, you're already putting that negativity on you for when you've walked into that room. And then even you walking into a room with your head down, they might be like, well, is she okay, or has she got an attitude, or anything like that. Whereas if you walk in and you're just chill with it, I think you're going to do better.
That's it. And it's the same with a normal job interview, isn't it? It's not necessarily say it's how you conduct those answers or how you conduct yourself.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good answer, mate. Good answer. Well, thank you very much for doing this today.
Thank you.
Hopefully everybody's enjoyed it. Really appreciate your time. And if anybody would like to share it with your friends, this interview, to share some industry knowledge from Ebs, that would be wonderful. But yeah, really big love to you, mate, for to talk to us today. Thanks.
Thank you.